Hello everybody and welcome back to the Chariot series with myself, Critical Rocket. We've moved on to another clan mech, another light 30-tonner. We've got the Arctic Cheetah, also known as the Hankyu in the Inner Sphere. Obviously this has had one of the more dubious reputations within the MechWarrior Online community, both for light pilots who find it to be an incredibly powerful light mech with good ECM capability and some very nasty builds over the years, while the other side of the coin is a lot of players hate fighting them because they're pretty solid mechs, they're tough to kill, and their speed, jump jets, a heavy amount of firepower, and good omnipods make them very tough opponents. Though, strangely enough, I've noticed Arctic Cheetahs have sort of fallen a little bit in their popularity, probably because of things like the Piranha arriving with much higher DPS and less reliance on heat. So, coming back to the Arctic Cheetah, it's been a while since I played it, and it's been refreshing. I've not really ever had a bad run in Arctic Cheetah. Always found them to be quite fun. And the D version, I was a little perplexed by why it was left out in the first place, and how it never sort of got added to MWO. The Delta version is a pretty simple build. It has a medium pulse and a flamer, and a pair of LRM-10s, and that's it. However, one problem with the build is it definitely does intend you to sacrifice a chunk of your armour to be able to equip the LRM-10s. As such, ammo is extremely low initially. It's a bit of a problem with the build, to be perfectly honest. You do need to be prepared to either drop quite a lot of your armor off your legs and arms and such to be able to get enough fire, or you go quite low on the ammunition side and you rely on the other weapons you've got. Now, obviously this is a Frankenstein omnipod collection of parts to be able to get the build. If this was in MechWarrior Online, I suspect that PGI would probably maybe bump up the number of missile pods or bump up the number of energy hardpoints, so you could have some kind of backup firepower, or you switch it to something like ATM-3s or SRMs, something along those lines. I guess they would have done with it. Personally, it's fun as a fire support builders. There aren't really a lot of lights that are focused around that role. You've got, in the clan side of things, obviously you've got things like the Adder, you've got the Cougar, but not much outside of that. Inner Sphere are even less on the side of fire support roles for their light mechs. One of the ones that springs to mind is a Locust with the LRM-5, so I think it's a Locust 1M. I think it's the Marek one that has the LRM-5 launchers in the arms. But yeah, there's not a hell of a lot of lights that perform that duty, and it's kind of fun having a light mech that can move with the heavies and actually be able to provide decent firepower. Obviously this map was on Solaris, so the LRMs were rendered almost completely useless, which meant all of the shaving I did for some extra ammo was completely pointless. Whereas I did get very good use out of the medium pulse and the flamer in this map, and it was a nice fight. I've always found Solaris to be actually one of the best maps in MWO for brawling and just getting into a good scrap early on. It helps that the map has lots of ways for you to be able to maneuver around. It's great for fast mechs and jump capable mechs. It's not too bad for assaults that just want to get into some narrow firing lines and just tear something up. It's probably one of the best maps they've made, to be honest. Even though it's not the prettiest map and certainly has a few visual issues, it's definitely one of the best maps for me, at least for recording stuff. It's never really let me down in that regard. I'd also like to point out that this was these two videos that are coming up for the Arctic Cheetah, the other one being the Hotel H version, were back to back, and this was actually the second match. So there was a couple of people I was chatting to who were in the previous match. So if you're wondering about the chat, yeah, it's a little that you saw early on. It's a bit sort of confused like that. Hopefully this will upload in the correct order of the Hotel version then Delta, but then I realistically I should upload the Delta version first, because that would make more sense. Oh well, whatever. The people don't watch them in order anyway. I intend that. I intend people to go like, oh, you're going to watch, like, if there's going to be Omnimex, you're going to watch the A, then the B, then the C. No, people watch like the fucking C version, then the A version, whatever. Whenever it takes their fancy, I guess. Or however YouTube presents them on their feed. Very strange, YouTube. So, would I recommend having a go with the Delta? Yeah, actually. The only other version that's left out of the Arctic Cheetah now, after the Hotel's done, is the Foxtrot version, and until MWO adds Streak LRMs, which I highly doubt they will, these are the only two versions of the Arctic Cheetah that aren't in MechWarrior Online. And, as I said, I'm surprised Delta wasn't added to start with. And the hotel one, actually, I'm surprised that didn't get retroactively fitted, because that one uses heavy lasers and some of the other new tech, so yeah, kind of surprising, really. But who knows, maybe PGI will get around to it in the end, or they'll just decide to do something a bit different. Maybe there will be a MechWarrior Line 2 in the future, who knows, depending on how MechWarrior 5 does. Will everything be ported across? Who knows? It's pretty difficult to guess what PGI's plans are at this stage. I guess they're hoping MechWarrior 5 will be enough of a success that they can port everything over? Who knows? Who knows? So this is coming to the end of the round. This is this direwolf, I think it was, that was overheating. You see, I've got an even smaller preview box than I had on the previous editor software. I'm using a new TV for the recording now, and it's a huge TV, so it's hard to see the little render preview box. It's so tiny. All I can see is little things moving around. It's just shaped at this point, so I have to try and guess by the track bar. But yeah, there we go. That's the end of the round. It's fun. Have a go with it. It's a simple build to make. You don't have to make too many changes in the Omnipod selection there. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.